Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about that data binding. So now in this video, I want to discuss about that events. So if you already know about that JavaScript, into the JavaScript, we created some of the events like on mouse events, the click events, right? So now if you want to create this type of events into the VueJs, then how can do that work? In this video, I will show you that things with a live example. For doing this better, I want to create another file. And I just click on the save as, and I just name it as a class. Okay, I just name it as a class 4.html. I just save it. So now here I just copy all the things from our class 2. Okay, I just copy it. So there is a data binding. I have already discussed about that things with you. Now in our 4, I just simply paste it. Okay, so in particular that position, that is our methods. Right now we don't need any method. I just remove it. I just remove everything, and also in our div here I just remove it. So now here I define that events. Okay, I just simply define as events, and now if you click on the save all, and now I want to open it. So that is our class 4. I just open it. So now here, if you want to create some of the data property, like that is our ID, and here that is our data property, right? So into the data property, right now I want to define one of the another property. Okay, like I just take one of the another data property as a dollar. I just take one of the data property, and here I define one of the dollar as a $100. So here now if you want to display this property, that means this data property, then what exactly you have to do? So I think you already know about it. Here I take one of the h1 tag. So into the h1 tag, I want to display that property as a I earn. Okay, I earn, and then I just define our this property value. So our property that is actually the dollar property. So I just simply define the dollar property, and then I just simply define that with our dollar, that means $100 per month. Okay, so I just simply define that things. So now if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, so here I just refresh it. Now here you can see it's now showing as a I earn $100 per month, right? So now here I want to do in our this dollar, that means here I want to add one of the event. Okay, so here I want to add one of the click event, in particular that dollar area. So if you want to do that work, then you have to define, I just simply define one of the button. Okay, it should be very much clear to you what exactly the things I want to do. So here I define one of the button, and here I define the button as a +1. So sorry, I just define as a +1, and also I take another button. I want to take another button as a -1. So I just simply define as a -1. So now here I want to add another detective. So here I define another detective as a V, that means a view. Okay, into the view I just define as a on click. So I just simply define the click. Okay, V and on click, and into this on click position I just simply define our this dollar. So here I define that property, so that is our property, right? So I just simply define that property as particular that position. That means the V on click is equal to our this dollar. So this dollar will be increment. So if you want to increment it, then you have to define that ++. Okay, and also I want to do the same things. I want to do the same things in particular that area for as a V, and then on, and then our click event. Okay, I just define our click event, and into the click event here I define our this property as a dollar. So this property will be as a minus. Okay, that means it should be reduced by the 1. So here I define another event as a click event. So now if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, like here I just refresh it, now you can see there is actually the +1 button, and there is a -1. So that is our property, right? So now I want to do, if you click on the +1, yes, you can see it's now incremented with the +11. And if you click on here, it's will be reduced as a -11. Okay, so it's now perfectly updated. I think it's very much clear to you. So with this click event, you can do that work. So it's very much helpful for the e-commerce side. Okay, and here I define that our detective with the V on, right? So if you also want to make the things as a short, then you can short it. You can also write down with the only the @. So I just simply define as a @ and the click, and also I want to update it. I don't need to use that v on. So here I just simply added that event as a @click. It should be output the same. Like I just click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, +1, yeah, you can see there is minus. Perfect. So here is also working with this one. Okay, that is our short form at the and our click event. And here we did that with our data property, right? Also, if you want to increment it, if you want to decrement it with the using the method, then you can also do that work. Better, I want to show you how can do this work. First of all, here I take one of the method as a amount. Okay, I just take one of the method as a amount. Into the method amount, here I define one of the argument. Like here I take one of the argument as a pound. So I just simply define as a pound, and now I just simply define our method. Into the method here, I want to use this property data, right? So here, if you want to use this property data, I have already discussed about that things with you. Then you have to use that with this, right? So with this here, I want to define that property, that is a dollar property. I just simply defining it, and here I just simply define as a plus equal. So I just simply define as a plus and the equal, and then our this argument, that means here I define one of the parameter as a pound. So here I have to simply pass that pound. Okay, I hope you can well understand about it. So now I want to display our this method data. So I just simply copy that method. So here in our onClick, into the onClick position, I just simply define our method. So I just simply define that method, and into the method area, I also define on our argument. That means here I define one of the parameters, right? So here I just simply defining it. So I just simply define that part, and also we have to update it. So here I just simply also update our method as a amount method, and here our all that in argument. And here I want to do like here I define as it should be incremented with 1, and I just define it should be reduced -1. So I just simply define as a -1. Okay friend, I think it's very much clear to you. So now I just define our onClick method as with the amount 1 and the amount 1. You can also update it, like if you want to update amount with the 5, that means it should be updated with the 5. And also if you want to decrement with this 5, then you can also do that work. So now let's check this out. I just click on the save all. Okay, I just click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, and now that is our $100, that is our property. And now if you click on the +1, yes, now you can see our method is perfectly working. So it's automatically incremented with our argument. I just pass on the parameter, and into the parameter I define as a 5 will be incremented, and you can see it's now incremented with the 5 and also decremented with the 5. Perfect. So friend, we can use it with the data property. We can use it also with the method. So friend, I think it's very much clear to you. And also into the onClick here, they have also another functions. Like if you want to put that things with the double click, you can also do defining it. Like I just define as a double click as a db. Okay, dbl, and into the double click, that means a dbl click. So here I define that our event as a double click event. So when you click as a double, then it should be automatically updated. Okay, like check this out. If you click on the save all, and now here I just refresh it. So here I just put that things as a double click event. So now if you click on one time, you can see they have no changes. But if you click on the double, yeah, it's not changing. Again one, it's not changing. If you click on the double, then it's changing. Okay, so every double click, if you want to add that event, then you can use it with the dbl click, and that is our single as a click. Perfect. So that is our click event. So in VueJs they have multiple events. Okay, so step by step I will cover it. Like in our next video, I want to discuss about that object events. How can working with the event object. In our next video, I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.